Okay, once you have everything recorded, you're going to have to produce your music. And producing is pretty much mixing levels of your instruments to get them to sound good together. One major thing that you'll need to learn is EQ, and it means equalization of all the instruments, all the vocals, everything you're going to have to EQ. Unless you get really lucky and you record it and it sounds perfect, which never happens. So you're going to have to EQ it, which means EQ is pretty much a balance of the low frequencies and the high frequencies in instruments and vocals, even drums. And that really makes a huge difference. If you've got a vocal that's kind of muddy and kind of low sounding, sounds like a pillow is over the speaker when you listen to it. If you just brighten it up, if you brighten up the EQ, that means adding a little more high frequencies to it. It's going to cut through and it's going to sound higher, and it's going to sound a little more crisp and clean. Same thing with all the instruments. A lot of times you're going to have to brighten them up, especially if you're using low-end microphones. You're going to have to brighten up the EQ. That's something you have to do with everything. Other things when producing is panning. A lot of people don't know. I don't know if you know the difference between mono and stereo. Stereo is before stereo they had mono, and mono is pretty much all coming in the center of the speaker, and all the instruments are coming through one direction. And what stereo did is they split it up in two parts. So you've got instruments on the left speaker and instruments on the right speaker, and you can pan them any way you want. And it really creates a dynamic that mono couldn't even come close to. So that's a big thing. It helps the guitar. If you have a lead guitar part, normally you kind of put it to the side in the right speaker. You could put it 100% to the right. You could put it like maybe 60%. So mess with that a bit. That's really only kind of a learn as you go type of thing as far as panning. Normally vocals are in the center, and because that's what carries the song is the vocals. So you want that to be in the center, and then the instruments kind of around. Normally the drums are kind of panned a little bit equally to the right and left. So that's two things that are very important: equalization and panning, in my experience. Another thing that really adds to your sound to make it a little more professional sounding is layers. You can take the same vocal part, you can take the same guitar part, and you can duplicate it digitally. You can duplicate it, and that pretty much adds a second layer, and you can put that over to the left, and you can pan the other one over to the right, and that adds a different dynamic. So layering is another thing you can do that affects your sound. And that's pretty much the three different things that are going to affect your production of your music.